Hi everyone, Comic Book Reviewer here. This time reviewing on season 3 of Spirit Riding 3. Now, as you know, this third season of Spirit Riding 3 first originally aired on Netflix in November the 17th, 2017. And I think after covering season 1 and 2, I do think season 3 improves itself over the first two seasons and actually does raise the stakes up a little higher, but definitely knows when to go a bit more serious over the last two seasons. So literally after covering the first two seasons, decided to go to season 3, and I definitely think it fixes a lot of things over the last two seasons. And yeah, even the first episode, Lucky and the Long Way Home, really definitely captures how much I think the writers definitely wanted to improve. Because we do see Spirit having to kind of journey it back to get back to Meridero after the events of the season 2 final. You do see how Lucky, as well as her father Jim, definitely have to go from hell and back, definitely to get Spirit back. You definitely feel like the attentions are risen a lot higher. You definitely feel like there's a lot of character change literally in the first episode, like having Jim finally be an actual parent to Lucky, and you do see Lucky finally get grounded for her actions. And even the second episode definitely shows you Lucky finally being grounded for kind of acting on her actions and kind of having to kind of face the consequences of it. That feels believable. And even when you have as well, like the episode Lucky and the Field Trip Fraud, you definitely see how Lucky is trying to prove to people that she's not the teacher's pet. You definitely see how she tries to kind of cause trouble to prove her point. But the episode definitely shows you how much she's willing to try and change her status, as well as the episode afterwards, Lucky and the Shaky Day, really showing you how Jim is trying to get Lucky to see reason. You definitely see Lucky kind of acting a bit like any kid would, kind of acting like she did nothing wrong. And you definitely see Lucky finally getting grounded for her actions, and even Jim finally growing a spine and finally punishing Lucky for her actions. And I think the rest of the third season really does try to go a bit more serious with everything after the first two seasons. Because yeah, you definitely see how in Lucky and the Field Trip Fraud, how yeah, Kate kind of gives the students the idea that they found bones, but turns out both Jim and Kate wanted to do it to kind of give kids a little bit of a motivation and a little bit like they've accomplished something. But the episode definitely shows you the dangers of being too motivated and how sometimes giving people too much motivation can be a bit of a risk. And there is even the episode Lucky and the Golden Opportunity, where they believe they found a abandoned gold mine. You see how Lucky's cousin Julian sees this as another opportunity to get rich quick. And this definitely shows you the dangers of what can happen when you see things as a golden opportunity. And sometimes the golden ticket doesn't always mean it's going to be a good opportunity. And the last episode, Lucky and the Lion, shows you just how much the writers went full on with the last episode for season 3. You see how a mountain lion kills off a sort of baby horse's mother, and they definitely go all out with the seventh season. I mean, with the seventh episode, you get a sense that the writers were going full on. You get a sense that they weren't trying to sugarcoat too much after the last two seasons. And I think it's clear that after the first two seasons, they wanted to go a bit more serious. And there are moments where I think season 3 improves itself over a lot. You get a sense that the characters have to kind of mature. You get a sense there's a lot of understandings why characters do want to try and do the right things, but it's not going to be easy. And there are moments where you can tell some characters have justified reasons. Like, yeah, we do see how Lucky hosts a charm school for Prue and Abigail, and you can tell having to try and learn to be a bit more ladylike and learning manners for a upcoming ball, knowing what could happen if they make a bad first impression with the governor, and that can come with dangerous repercussions. And you even do see how, yeah, that Prue, Abigail, and Lucky meet a Native American boy, and that they even make it clear the dangers of what can happen when someone like Grayson sees this as an opportunity to get payback, all thinking that they're doing the right things when clearly they're not. And you definitely see how in the third episode, everyone tries to handle the situations differently. And I think it shows you how sometimes when we see things from other people's point or not, we still try and help out the best way we can. And I really do think season 3 fixes a lot of things. A lot of characters feel fixed up. You get a sense that everyone understands when to kind of give the characters better potential. And I think to me, season 3 is an improvement. It's enjoyable, it's watchable, and definitely fixes a lot of things after the first two seasons. And I'm really hoping to see how, as the series progresses, we might see a bit more improvements. So I definitely give this season 2 thumbs ups. It fixes itself, it knows what it's doing, and definitely has to kind of adapt and change after the first two seasons. So, comic book reviewer here, signing out.